Hi everybody, I'm Jackie and I'm here with a message for children and the young at heart. We're going to start the way that we have been, which is to start with touching our heads to recognize what thoughts we have at this moment, just to notice them. And then move your hands to your heart. Maybe take a deep breath and think about what your body is feeling right now and what your feelings are inside, tied to the thoughts. And then move your hands to your belly to recognize what needs you have based on the thoughts and feelings. Today my back is hurting, so I need to make sure my feet are flat on the ground. And that's my request to myself. This is a request. What does my body need and my heart need? So I hope you are comfortable where you are as you're listening. Today I have a very short story. You may have heard this before, you may not have. When I read it, I immediately remembered a song I learned when I was a young person that has the very words of this story in it. The song was, "If you want to be great in God's kingdom, learn to be the servant of all." And that's what the scripture's about today. It is from Mark chapter 9, 33 through 37. Mark was one of Jesus's friends who worked with Jesus and followed Jesus. And here is the story. Then they came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, Jesus, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But all of his followers, his friends, were silent, for on the way they had argued with each other about who was the greatest. Jesus sat down, called the 12 disciples, 12 friends, and said to them, "Whoever wants to be the first must be last of all and servant of all." Then he took a little child and put them among the friends. And taking the child in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever welcomes such a child in my name welcomes me. And whoever welcomes me welcomes not me, but the one who sent me." Jesus said to his friends that to be the greatest, you need to be the servant of all. And I won't say any more. I'll ask you this question. The gospel, the word itself, means good news. What do you think was the good news in this story? What stood out to you? It always stands out to me that Jesus took a little child in the middle of all these men who were following him and arguing about who was the greatest among them. And he took the little child and said, "Whoever welcomes this child or any child like you welcomes me, Jesus. And also, not only me, but welcomes God, the one who sent Jesus." At the time the story was written, there was a power struggle happening with the adults, and power meant a lot. It meant survival and wealth and having things that you need. So power was important, and during that time, men were in power, and Jesus challenged that thought, that structure, and showed a different way. What I really would like to say before I ask you more questions, I'll ask you one final question, and then show you some pictures and tell you some thoughts I have about this. Instead of fighting over who has the most power, Jesus taught his disciples how to share power. What power do you have as an individual? For me, this takes some thought. What power I have is the ability to walk around and to volunteer if I have time for people who are experiencing the weather outside because they don't have shelter. And last night it was really rainy, which is wonderful. Maybe I was thinking not as wonderful if you don't have a roof over your head. And I live downtown, so I see a lot of people, and there were people without shelter, and I know it was hard because the rain lasted a little bit and kind of was a surprise. I know it was forecast, but it was still a shock to see sudden rain, wasn't it? Okay, I'm going to show you some things. I was thinking about how we can welcome people and make sure people know that they are welcome wherever we are. In our homes, maybe you serve guests some water or tea or coffee or snacks. Maybe at school, you make sure people feel welcome when they eat lunch. I'm sure it's harder now since you can't do some things at school that maybe you used to. And wearing a mask is sometimes hard to express a smile, but it is still visible in your eye. I did some reading, and one article that I'm going to include in the newsletter on email that you could read if you'd like was about a way to make public spaces like our riverfront downtown inclusive for people of all abilities. Maybe, for instance, I have a friend downtown that lives in a neighboring apartment, and he's in a wheelchair and has a dog as a companion. And he can't roll into the grass with his wheelchair to pick up his dog's poop because the grass is always wet and soft from the sprinkler, and he gets stuck in there. Also, the dog park isn't made for him to be able to roll his wheelchair in it, so he can't go to the dog park either and let his dog just run around. So he has to find other ways to make his life work. And it would be more inclusive if there was a path, maybe through the grass, or a different kind of surface instead of grass. Whenever I see them, I try to help by picking up anything that his dog leaves in the grass. But there is, in Canada, there's a group that's really trying to make public spaces really a space where everyone can feel welcome. And I have another article that talks about a playground. This is in Maryland. And they've just been given a gift that allowed them to put these signs up in their playground. And this is a visual menu. So people with autism who don't communicate in the same way that some of us do, they can point to what they want to say or communicate and then talk with their friends that way, to talk about their needs. Sometimes people with autism have a computer that has all of those symbols on it, accessible, and people usually wear those out on the playground, but it can stop them from playing to have that with them. So this sign allows kids who have autism and have a different way of communicating, it allows them to look and feel like other kids without this special help or tool with them. They have the sign and they can just point to it. I really like that. And I am going to be looking for ways that we can all make sure everyone feels welcome. I'm going to read you a short book that I just got for the classroom. This is the cover. It's called All Are Welcome. And the back is even more. All are welcome. There's a sign right there. All are welcome, Alexandra Penfold and Suzanne Kaufman. Pencils sharpened in their case, bells are ringing, let's make haste, school's beginning, dreams to chase. All are welcome here. There's a sign there too, welcome. I want you to be looking for things in here that might be signs that all are welcome. No matter how you start your day, what you wear, when you play, or if you come from far away, all are welcome here. In our classroom, safe and sound, fears are lost and hope is found. Raise your hand, we'll go around. All are welcome here. Gather now, let's take part. We'll play music, we'll make art. We'll share stories from the heart. All are welcome here. Time for lunch, what a spread, a dozen different kinds of bread. Pass it around till everyone's fed. All are welcome here. It's hard to read aloud with a big book. Open doors, rush outside. We will swing, we will slide. We'll have fun side by side. All are welcome here. We're part of a community. Our strength is our diversity, a shelter from adversity. All are welcome here. We will learn from each other. Special talents we'll uncover. There's a big world to discover. All are welcome here. So much to learn, so much to do, and when the busy day is through, can't wait to come back, start anew. All are welcome here. Head for home to get some rest and greet tomorrow ready and fresh. Our time together is the best. Everybody's going to bed. All are welcome here. You have a place here. You have a space here. All are welcome. And this book unfolds. You are welcome here. And it unfolds more. Woo. Let's see if that's the last page. Yep, that's the last page. And the reason the cover wasn't on that book is that it is a poster that says, all are welcome. And I'm going to put this in our classroom as a sign that we want to make everyone feel welcome. All right, friends, there will be information and videos in the newsletter for you. And before we end, put your hands on your heart if you feel like it. If it helps you, it helps me, and I'm taking a deep breath. I am breathing in God's love. I am a beloved child of God. I know I forgot our candle today. I was excited about the rain. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Until next time or on Sunday.